Hi Jennifer, how you doing? I've got you queued up here, and we're looking at your English Equestrian. Today's English Equestrian magazine, and I'm liking what I'm seeing, and I think you should be too. This has really, really come a long way, and I think that you, as much as any other student in the class, has really, really finessed this thing and really pushed it to its logical direction. I'm not going to say conclusion. Of course, because I've got some questions. I've got some comments, and I have some suggestions for improvement moving into the presentation. Should you choose to elect this piece for your final portfolio, student portfolio, when that time comes. So today's English Equestrian. Let's take a look at the cover. My first question is, I'm just going to go ahead and Command R this so I can get a quick look at where am I? What's going on? Here are my rulers, and I'm trying to get my rulers up so that I can see what size we are at. 8.5 by 11, meaning that, yeah, and the way that's 11 by 17. Yeah, so what you have here is basically this is the whole cover. So my first question, of course, and I think the most obvious question of the whole composition is, why do you have this white frame around your magazine? It's really unusual. One would not do that. One would bleed the image off the page. Otherwise, you're stuck with this really unusual kind of weird frame. Let's talk a little about alignment. Let's talk about typographic alignment. And by doing so, I'm just going to draw a guide to the logical landing point, which is that T right there in today. Okay, and let's just bring that guy down, and it looks like you have started to pay attention a little bit to alignment, but you're not quite there. You have some weird alignment here. That S is hanging off the edge where that E isn't, so that's kind of unusual. Let me see if that is the same. Okay, that's weird that that's doing that. Anyway, so it is. So anyways, that is also hanging off that alignment a little bit. And then this, of course, is like pushed over here, as is that. And then you have these two centered aligned typographic compositions. Why do we do a magazine cover for typography? Because we want to concentrate on these little typographic compositions, and we want to be forced into being able to recognize how we can fit these visually otherwise incohesive little compositions together into a harmonious package, resulting in a cohesive and harmonious layout. I hope that makes sense. Basically, what we're doing is putting a lot of things that shouldn't fit together to make them work. And that's why we're using magazine design to show our typographic skills. Okay, so we have that alignment. This is great right here. This is a wonderful, wonderful headline. I would like, and this obviously is the feature spread. What I'd like you to do is try a sans serif right in there. I think you're going to be blown away at the difference that you're going to see. Just change that out for a sans serif. And then I'm seeing a little bit of reluctancy to want to experiment with serif and sans serif typefaces together in the same composition. This English Equestrian right here, what I'm going to suggest is that we enlarge that, take this today's right here, shrink it a little bit, and fit it right in this little cranny right here. Okay, trying not to overdo it. Watch your kerning on English and Equestrian. Those are really jammed up too tightly, very difficult to read. Other than that image, this is a low resolution image, so you're going to probably receive some deductions for that. That is definitely a low resolution image, and it's a strange image too, because you can see the horse. I've done some research. I'm going to tell you something, man. I have a newfound respect for people who design for equestrian magazines, because it's difficult. The images are so odd and so difficult to work. Horses are bizarre animals. I've come to realize in the last couple of days while researching for your project. And with this image right here, you've got the horse, and then you've got this person like kind of draped over the image, and that's just a really I'm not real sure how I want to define that, but it's just not a good image for the cover, because that person doesn't even look like they might not even be doing very well. So it's not, you know what I'm saying? Kind of slumped over in the saddle. I'm a little worried. I'm thinking about calling 911 myself. Anyways, contents. Again, really, I would second guess your decision of using that in all caps. Very difficult to read. I think your contents page is falling apart because you're trying all these center alignments. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and say this. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'll die saying this. Don't ever use center alignment for typography. Get rid of it right now. I haven't aligned anything using center alignment, and the last time I did a wedding invitation 25 or 30 years ago. And I'm not lying. I'm telling you the truth. I despise centered alignment. I think it does absolutely no justice to typography or negative space as associated and as it relates to a composition as a whole. So I think these could have been handled much, much, much differently, much better. And I think that you probably may have picked up on that. I've mentioned that probably 40 or 60 times throughout the last couple of weeks. This looks great. Nice job. Good pull quote. Well, a little finesse in there. I don't think you need that box in the background on that pull quote. Since this is just a little pull quote, I'm fine with the center alignment there, but I would, of course, rather see it left aligned. Left alignment looks good. Typography looks great. This looks beautiful. I would definitely change the typeface there. Try mixing typefaces together. I think you're going to be really impressed with the results. You got the pull quote here. I'd like to see a couple other things in here. Drop caps or other callouts. I'm going to need a caption for that image right there. I'm not seeing page folios, so again, you'll probably get marked for that. Not probably, you will receive deductions for the no page folios there. Generally, I think the type is set pretty well. Your rags are set, they're okay, but rags should go like this, in and out, in and out, in and out, with no regular pattern whatsoever. Rags, you do not want patterns like this where you have these kind of waves in and out and then in. Watch my cursor, in and then out, and then in and then out. You don't want that. You'd rather have something that goes like that. Let me find it. This is decent. This is pretty good. This is the best rag of the whole composition. Typographic widow, right there. Typographic widow, right there. Technically, that's a widow. Technically, that's not. I don't see any orphans. One thing that is really, really, really killing your visual harmony here is the fact that you're jumping from a 2-column spread to a 3-column spread on the second page. That's really unusual. If you're going to do something like that, I would suggest trying to finesse. Stay away from it. Just try to stay away from it. It's just really difficult to go from 2 columns to 3 columns without the viewer sensing this kind of strange shift as we are here. So, all right, good job. Any questions, please get with me. I definitely think that this video is supplying a lot more information than I possibly could. In a few minutes, I would be allowed to type for the response. So hopefully you got what you need out of this. If you didn't, if you have any questions or you would like some further clarification, please just let me know, and I'll be glad to provide that for you. Okay, great class. Jennifer, glad you hung in there. I enjoyed having you as a student, and I hope to see you again. All right, thanks very much.